here we are. Want me to do the drink first? Okay.
What are we drinking?
Well, we're about to drink. The drink is called Extremely Drunk and Incredibly Close. And it's a version of a Manhattan. See what they did there? So, I guess I'll just get cracking here.
What's usually in a Manhattan, Rhoda?
This rye whiskey and sweet vermouth. The twist is the red wine instead of soda.
Bitters?
Bitters? Oh, that's right, bitters. Not my favorite.
Are bitters bitter?
Yes.
I don't know. I've never had it.
Either. I'm not sure if I've had it.
Yeah, they're called Angostura bitters.
I have seen that.
Yeah, and
Like old fashioned.
yeah, exactly. And the thing is what you have to remember is people came up with all this stuff when they were trying to hide the taste of rot gut whiskey during Prohibition. Like, because basically alcohol is poison. Sorry, everybody. Which is not to say that it's not pleasant, but yeah. Okay, here's the vermouth. Here's the rye whiskey, which I'm going to put 2.5 ounces into this jigger. Get jiggy. Okay, so I've got to make 2 of these. Oh, so I've got to double it. Damn. So it's going to be 5 ounces of rye.
Ooh. Oh my gosh. Okay.
I like whiskey. I hope I like this one. I'm nervous about liking this one.
I have no concept of. I have no idea what this is going to taste like.
I know. It's like going to be magical.
To envision, but...
Yeah, sometimes like things come together, like they're real weird, and then oh, I didn't expect that to be so good.
Oops. Next time we use the annex, we're going to be like. It's okay. So there's 5 ounces of whiskey. No, I haven't been drinking any, and 1.5 ounces of sweet vermouth, but I'm doubling it. So
This is what I'm nervous about.
Yeah, it smells weird.
oh, you're right. What is vermouth?
Wormwood!
No.
Yes, it is. We looked it up.
I think maybe it used to be. I don't think that.
Based on that smell, it still is made from wormwood. It's very brown. This drink is going to be very
I
brown.
wasn't expecting that. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay.
Okay, so that was 3 ounces because it was 1.5 times 2.
Look at you. Yeah, to be a bartender, you got to do some math.
Oh yeah, and then 1/2 ounce of red wine, which will be 1 ounce of red wine.
Hopefully the wine is good. Oh, perfect pour.
Shucks.
Can I smell the red wine?
Going
Smells
to
good.
put in a bunch of ice.
Sorry.
That's okay.
The
It
ice.
smells good.
It's supposed to be stirred, not shaken. Thank you, James Bond.
So, what's the difference between shaken and stirred?
Nothing.
Does it matter how many times you shake it or how vigorously you shake it?
You know, if you shake it too much, if you stir it too, like the ice is going to melt. Like you want it to chill it, but you don't want it to dilute it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where the whole shaken, not stirred thing is. If you just gently stir it, mix everything up. Okay, you guys ready?
It's exciting.
Oh man, it's very brown. Okay. Ma'am.
Thank you. I'll give this one to you.
Thank you.
And ma'am.
Oh, that is.
And there you have it.
Oh, it's cold.
It's cold and it's boozy.
Okay, so we're excited to introduce this month's kit to you. As always, you'll receive the little insert that lists the contents of the kit. And most importantly, the drink recipe. And the accessories this month include, of course, an I Love New York pin. We couldn't Do This Kid Without It, followed by a key-shaped bottle opener in honor of Oscar's quest. So
I love those.
this is pretty
They're
cute.
so
Yeah, that is
cool.
cool.
Okay, and this month's activity actually is kind of fun too. So we're going to give you all the components, as you see here, to make this New York subway tile coaster. So it's super easy to make, and it's really cute. So have fun. Okay, so moving on to the book. I can really see this book as being quite polarizing.
Definitely.
I didn't love it.
It was not my cup
I
of tea.
didn't get through
Yeah.
it, to be honest. I'm sorry.
It was a tough read. It was just constant stream of consciousness.
And also, I hate to say this, I'm not buying that was the voice of a child.
No, absolutely
Sorry,
not.
Jonathan Safran Foer.
Yeah, absolutely not.
I can see where it would be poetic. There were definitely parts of it that I was like, oh, wow, that was a really well constructed sentence, or that really made me feel something. But overall, it was a really hard brain flex to read.
Yeah, I felt like he was just trying to be too clever, and it just
Yeah.
didn't work. It wasn't believable. And Oscar was kind of annoying.
Oh, same. I felt really
He
bad
drove me
saying that.
nuts. I know.
I felt awful saying that
Well,
I didn't
he's
connect.
a 9-year-old kid who, this whole book is about grief,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I feel like I shouldn't be annoyed by him, but I was.
I was too.
He drove me crazy.
He was supposed to be self-aware. And like in being self-aware, he realized his flaws, which were like being sexist at times, right? Or ageist or whatever. But he was still doing it.
I don't know. I think it was supposed to be part of his anxiety, I guess, too.
True.
But it just didn't work for me.
No.
And he treated, again, he's going through his own thing, obviously, but the way he treated people was pretty
Mm-hmm.
awful, too. Like his mom. Yeah.
Some of
That
those
was-
scenes were hard to read.
Yeah.
Although, that's a classic trauma
Yeah.
response. And,
Yeah.
most times your meanness to the people you love the most, the people you feel the safest with.
You've read it before, right?
Like 10 years ago, yeah.
So, like, did you feel differently reading it back then as you did reading it now? Have you read it before? I've never read it before either.
Honestly, I feel like, and my memory, I think, is not great. Like, I'm not really recalling it as I must have read it, but I felt like I had a more favorable experience reading it earlier.
Yeah.
Definitely more so than now, and I'm not really sure why.
Well, it was fresher then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Everything about it was fresher then. We weren't. It made me think of all the books where authors use the device of a child narrator or coming of age, and like specifically one who's neuroatypical or whatever.
Mhm.
And this was at the beginning of that. So that was fresher, but now it's like a trope to me, to my mind. The 9/11 was raw.
Mm-hmm.
And now, 20 years on, it's still horrible, but I don't know, I guess we're more jaded. And actually, the one message that I think the book has is that, like, war sucks and screws up people of every generation.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, there was definitely, like, the connection. I do feel like, I will say, in favor of it, I think that it did a really good job of showing the trauma experienced by the grandfather
Mm-hmm.
and the trauma experienced by the grandson in a nice parallel,
Mm-hmm.
and then connecting everything. Because I do feel like everything came together, everything got tied together very nicely, the connections were all made. Any like outstanding things that I had were kind of pulled in.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think that it's constructed well.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't just wrap my head around the stream of consciousness. I felt like I was in a dream the whole time I'm reading it. Do you know what I mean? That kind of disjointed, surreal, like, where's the mom? Why isn't she worried about her son walking all over New York City by himself at 9 years old? I had all these thoughts while I was reading it that were kind of taking me out of the story,
Mm-hmm.
but then it all kind of snapped into focus when you realize
That she knew.
she knew, and he was being cared for in a way. But. So I think that structurally, it's a really good book, but I just didn't care for the way it was written, maybe, or the character.
Yeah, I also really liked, I think similarly, I liked what he was trying to do. And I think I also agreed that he was trying to say that you have to talk about your trauma. I think that was a definite theme. Like, you can't keep it bottled up. Like the grandfather, he just couldn't, he didn't have the will to live. I mean, he just couldn't do it, which is why he left in the first place. And we don't really know how that ended up. Yeah, everybody's just keeping secrets from each other, and it just doesn't work out. Oscar didn't talk about the phone call. His mom didn't tell him that she was watching over him. The grandparents were keeping secrets, and it just didn't work for anybody.
I felt stressed out by all the rules. I think everybody had their own rules, and I don't know. I was getting secondary stressed.
I mean, but they're all they were all related to each other, like the people in the book. So they were all kind of screwed up in the same way.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think the visual components or like the non-linear components added to the story? Did they fit in?
They kind of freaked me out, to be honest.
Yeah.
The incorporation, and then maybe that was what they were supposed to do. Like, I had the most trouble with his Stuff That Happened to Me book because it wasn't stuff that was happening to him. So I'm like, what is the point of this? What is this doing for him? Like, why is he... Right. I couldn't see the goal of it. And then I thought, well, maybe it's just it would evoke feelings that he's had previously. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, a way to revisit feelings that happened to me.
Yeah.
Like, so this picture makes me feel this way. I don't know. I'm reaching because I don't know. And so, by extension, those images made me feel certain ways. And
Sure.
Maybe that was the point. I don't know.
That's how I don't know what any of it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Other than those kind of overarching themes that we've already talked about.
So do you feel like it took away from the book?
It was interesting, I guess, in an intellectual way, but I didn't see the meaning behind it. At the one at the very end, that kind of made sense.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure how I felt about it.
I think maybe the book could have been stronger for just having incorporated that. Potentially.
Yeah. I think a lot of them just, like the pictures of doorknobs and I can't even remember what else, probably weren't necessary. There was a lot of psychological stuff that...
Very psychological.
Yeah.
That I don't understand.
I didn't understand really his interactions with his psychiatrist.
Yeah.
That just confused me. I don't know.
I know. Maybe someone who is more well-versed in psychology would get it. But I did.
I would like to hear a psychologist's take on it.
Me too.
Because for me, it was too much of a brain exercise.
Yeah.
Because I was overanalyzing every sentence.
Okay. I'm sad now.
It was sad.
Yeah.
It was sad.
No wonder the drink's so heavy.
Maybe we should give like an overall impression of the book to end with. Like, I didn't hate it.
It's worth reading.
It's worth reading.
It has some poignant moments. It really does. And I think the overall messages are worth discussing.
If you enjoy a sad book, you'll love it.
It's just a little
Oscar would now be old enough to drink.
Oh my god.
Ooh. Imagine Oscar as an adult. Okay, anyway.
To Oscar.
Okay, sorry this is awkward.
To Oscar.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah.